Taking none. Hey guys, what's up? It's Kayla, aka Nola K, and I know it's been a while, but I'm back, and in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about everything that happened, I think literally the day after the Saints lost to the Buccaneers in the postseason to now, March 12th. In the beginning, there were minor news, late January, February, kind of minor news, but we're getting to some big news as the draft comes closer and the Saints have to get under the cap number. We started at 100 million, we were at 40 million, and I think now we're at 12.9 million. So a lot of in the beginning, a lot of hirings, other teams taking our coaching positions or stuff like that. And then as of lately, we've been cutting some people, letting them go, and then we just had renegotiating contracts, restructuring it so we can get under the cap number. We've lost some big people, and there's a lot of news to talk about. For some of this information, I'm just going to be reading it, stating it. I necessarily won't have an opinion just yet, but just in case you guys didn't know, I'm going to inform you and just kind of briefly talk over it. All this information can be found on Instagram. The Instagram handle, Saints Nations. Very good account, very professional. If you want to read it, if you just, I don't know, you should just follow it in general. But if you want to go back and see what I was saying, everything's on Saints Nations on Instagram. So the first piece of news that we got after we lost to the Bucs in the postseason was that the Falcons hired the Saints VP/assistant GM, Terry, don't really know how to say his name, Terry Fontenot, to be their new GM. So, yeah, I don't really have much to say on it, just gonna state it. Now, the next thing we figured out was that Michael Thomas was indeed hurt and that he did put off some injuries that he needed surgery on because, he was saying that, it's going to be Drew Brees' last year. He didn't want to miss the postseason. And so we found out that, obviously, we knew he was battling a lot of injuries. And honestly, I wasn't expecting him to be 100% just near it, heading into the postseason. But, yeah, apparently it was very serious enough for him to need surgery. So that came out in, late January. The Michael Thomas slander, which is ridiculous, by the way. I mean, the dude was hurt. Same with AK last year. He was hurt, and people were like, oh, we should cut him, da-da-da. And then he has a breakout year. Well, yeah, I guess it would be breakout year. Just, an amazing year for Alvin Kamara. So the same people are going to be bashing Michael Thomas, and then next season he's going to be amazing again, and they're like, oh, da-da-da. But he's hurt. Cut the Michael Thomas slander out. It's crazy. For the next piece of news, I feel like different people have different opinions on this. It's but the Lions hired our Saints secondary coach, Aaron Glenn, to become their DC. If you saw the way the Saints performed last year in the secondary in the beginning of the year, you were probably most likely criticizing Aaron Glenn. However, you saw the change. Now, would you say this is more of a, Janoris Jenkins and Lattimore not, doing their job right? Or is it more of a coaching issue? Honestly, it's hard to tell with how, a player's performing, if it's just because of coaching or if it's the player itself. But, I don't know how I feel about this. It's, we'll just have to see. A lot of the stuff we'll just have to see how much impact he had last year and on this team, and see if it was a him issue or if it was an Aaron Glenn issue coaching-wise, or if it was just simply, our secondary players not playing well. So we'll have to see, to be honest. I do not know. Another coaching thing was that the Lions have officially hired Dan Campbell to become their new head coach. The next piece of news we got was that Drew Brees was indeed playing with more injuries than we knew about. His wife posted to Instagram saying, I think he had a torn rotator cuff and I forgot something with his foot too. But yeah, that kind of shocked me. I just knew about the rib situation, the collapsed lung, but yeah, Drew Brees is a fighter. Still no word if he's going to retire. No official word, that is. But yeah, that kind of explains his performance. We knew the whole rib issue and lung issue, like I said, but playing with that too, those two other injuries, that's just tough. The next piece of news: Saints quarterback coach Joe Lombardi is on track to become the next Chargers OC, and he's now their new offensive coach. So yeah, he will be missed. Next, the Saints hired Seahawks DC and Cowboys assistant Chris Richard as their new secondary coach. So we lost Aaron Glenn. Here comes in Chris Richard, and we'll see the switch up between that. We'll see if we how it all balance out. So next is that the Saints renegotiated Drew Brees' contract to open up nearly $24 million in cap space for 2021. So just again, there's going to be a lot of contract renegotiations with all these players. And yeah, some of these I just literally have to state. Move on to the next. All right, the Saints are facing the biggest discipline yet after the NFL discovered more COVID protocol violations, including surveillance video of an interaction that may have contributed to Alvin Kamara's positive test in December. So, if I'm not mistaken, we already lost a 7th rounder, and I think they're still debating if they're going to take away another one. Not exactly sure. Obviously, any picks at all are beneficial for sure, but I don't really know what to say about this. I guess it just depends. Losing one hurts. Losing another one is going to hurt a lot more. So we'll just see. The Saints released veteran guard Nick Easton. This move saves $5.87 million in cap. So coming into this next season, we knew we were going to have to get rid of some players. We were really, really over cap. I think the most in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, or near close to it. But yeah, this was the first release. This was the first cut. There's a lot more that we got to get to. Next, it was announced that Saints legend Zach Strief is leaving the broadcast booth to become the Saints assistant offensive line coach. I think this is going to be cool. We knew Zach Strief was up in the booth, talking all things Saints. He moved, after he retired, and then I think he went into the broadcasting with the Saints. Now he's going to be back on the field, bringing his knowledge of the game to the Saints. So I think this is really cool, and I honestly can't wait. It's going to be fun to watch. So the next thing, the Saints made a few moves. They agreed on a 2-year deal with safety and special teamer JT Gray, giving the would-be RFA a deal worth $4 million with $2 million guaranteed. They also did a simple restructure on DT David Onyemata's contract, creating $4.34 million in cap space. So that was a mouthful, but basically they re-signed JT Gray. You'll probably see him on special teams. I know he's a safety as well, but he's usually on special teams. They signed a new contract with him. Deal worth $4 million with $2 million guaranteed. And then the second part was that they restructured David Onyemata's contract and it created $4.34 million in cap space. Basically, that's what it is. Don't really have an opinion on it. I guess a good move to re-sign JT Gray. He's great on special teams. So, and then just a simple restructure in David Onyemata's contract. Here's where the big news starts coming in. The Saints have released tight ends Jared Cook and Josh Hill. I personally wanted, I know this sounds so bad, but I wanted Jared Cook gone. He was a veteran in making those, fumbling, not catching balls, all season long. The last season towards that, he was great, especially in the middle to the end of the season. But this last year, it wasn't good. He didn't have the type of numbers we were expecting. Just a lot of drop balls, just not as much production. So, with Marcus Williams, when he did, the Minnesota Miracle thing, I didn't want him going. I know a lot of people did, but I didn't. He was a rookie, and it's unfortunate that happened. But Jared Cook had no excuse unless he was hurt or just. Nah, he just had no excuse. And then Josh Hill, Prior seasons, we've seen him more in, the kind of like tight end role, like catching balls type stuff. But last season, he was more into blocking. He would be a great blocker. He didn't have a lot of catches at all. But I don't know how I feel about Josh Hill. Jared Cook, I think it needs to be done, considering we were over cap too. So it just had to be done. And then Josh Hill, he was a great dude, great for the team, but he became more of a blocker last season. Maybe we can get a tight end that does both. Adam Trotman, he looks good for catching and blocking, so maybe he'll be used more. So we'll have to see. But yeah, next, the Saints restructure kicker Will Lutz's contract to create $1.74 million in cap space. So just another contract restructure. Next, this surprised me a lot. Thomas Morstead was released by the Saints. Obviously, we know he did not have a good season for his standards. His standards are really high. He's been a great kicker for the Saints for a long time. But when you look at his average punt, it was really below all his other years of punting. I did not expect him to be released. That was a big shocker. Thomas Morstead, great guy. And I wish him the best of luck if he's retiring or just going to another team. I saw he cut his hair off. So, yeah, his new look, new setting maybe. It would be a new setting. New look, new setting, new beginnings. I wish him the best of luck whatever he decides to do. So, yeah. Next, the Saints created $13 million in cap space by restructuring the contracts of Cameron Jordan and Demario Davis. So, just another simple restructure. And then at this point, the Saints are currently at $46 million over cap, which I think we were over $100 million. So, great moves so far. The Saints are putting the franchise tag on Marcus Williams. So, I feel like a lot of people are happy we get to keep Marcus Williams for another year. As much as, in the beginning of the season, our whole secondary is messed up, but Marcus Williams, a lot of blown coverages. He wouldn't keep up with the cornerback. He'd be, trailing. But, he tightens it up. I think he's a pretty good safety. Top 10, top 15 type stuff. I'm glad we get to keep him. Next, the Saints have re-signed running back special teamer Dwayne Washington. Probably won't see as much of him in the running back position because Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray, those are our main two. So, but I've always liked Dwayne Washington. So I guess that's all I have to say about that. The Saints restructured the contracts of Malcolm Jenkins and Andres Pete to save $9.4 million in cap space. They saved $6 million from restructuring Pete's deal and $3.4 from restructuring Jenkins' deal. So, same thing, restructuring deals. Next, the Saints are expected to release linebacker Quan Alexander in the coming days. This move would save them more than $13 million with no dead money. It's so unfortunate. Quan was great while he lasted. Really, he's a good player, strong player. He was great. Him and Demario Davis, you could feel the type of electricity, the type of motivation they brought to the field by each and every snap. Quan was literally just thrown into the Saints lineup, and I thought he deserved a spot from Alex Anzalone, definitely 100%. And then next, the Saints announced that they're releasing Emmanuel Sanders. Again, only got him for a year, except I guess technically it was almost like a whole year. With Quan, it was like he was just thrown in, but I liked Emmanuel Sanders a lot. I guess people had to be let go. Sad it was Emmanuel. Maybe it was necessary. It was him, but yeah, like I said, it just had to be done. Emmanuel was technically our number 2 wide receiver, but technically number 1 considering Michael Thomas was hurt. So I guess you could add Traquan Smith, but then again, he was hurt. We had a hurt team. But yeah, technically our number 2, I think he did pretty well. He got his bonus. He caught enough balls to get that. So yeah, I just wish he was used a little bit more. It seemed like he would get like the long shot type of passes more than just like the short to intermediate. But maybe that's something he could have worked on with the team if he stayed. But he will no longer be a Saint. So then it was announced that the Saints received 3 more draft picks, 2 third-rounders and 1 sixth-rounder. So the picks, pick 98, pick 106, and pick 218. Next is that the Saints released cornerback Janoris Jenkins. This move saves $7 million. I don't agree with this. I'm not sure if it had to be done. I'm not sure how people saw this coming because I haven't really been keeping up with Saints news. But again, same thing. Secondary struggled in the beginning. Janoris Jenkins, out of place, burnt, whatever. But at times in the season, he looked better than Lattimore. And I'm not going to compare either one of them, but together, both on the field, healthy, I mean, I feel like pretty much lockdown cornerbacks. I mean, you saw the way both of them played in the end of the season. I mean, it was just tough for other people to catch, balls on them. Secondary looked great towards the end, and a big part of that is because of Janoris Jenkins. We saw what would happen when we have one good cornerback in Marshawn Lattimore, and then maybe like an Eli Apple, Ken Crawley type of thing on the other side. They just go and pick that side of the field because they know they're if the Saints are on defense, the offense knows that no one can cover besides Lattimore, so they'll just pick and target whoever is on the opposite side of Lattimore. And I quite frankly don't want to go back to those days. I don't want to just see like Lattimore. I love when Lattimore's of course lockdown, shutdown cornerback, but we got to have somebody who is as good, or like, I guess just as good as Lattimore, maybe a little bit down because Lattimore is very, very, very good, but somebody of that caliber. And I just, again, don't want to go back to those days where we only have one good cornerback. So I don't like this move. I don't agree with it. Again, I don't know if this had to be done, quite frankly, but this one really sucks. I'm really going to miss Janoris Jenkins, Jackrabbit, special to this team. And then I think this is like, oh no, this is not the last one. It's almost. The Saints restructured wide receiver Michael Thomas contract, creating $8.7 million in cap space. The Saints intend to release DT Malcolm Brown. I don't think this happened yet officially because it's 13 hours ago. I don't think there's any official word. Could be wrong, but I don't know how I feel about this move. I'm not exactly sure how many sacks he got. I guess I'll look it up right now. So Malcolm Brown, last season, the 2020 season, he only got 1 sack. So
he was a good run stopper, though.
I honestly can't remember if he was on the injured reserve list or on the injury report at all. I cannot exactly remember, but I think this is a good deal that saves around $5 million in cap space. So I'm with that. It's crazy to think that we were $100 million over cap in January, and now we're at 12.9. Honestly, that's crazy how we got it done. I know a lot of commentators were talking about how we're in so much cap trouble, and yes, we were, but honestly, the moves that we made, some were unfortunate, some I'm just sad to see leave the Saints organization, but overall, I think this is a great job. by the Saints organization when deciding who to keep and just all the type of moves we made. I guess I'm pretty much happy. I think Janoris Jenkins is the one that I was just like, but yeah, the show must go on. The draft is coming up. I was going to do a mock draft, but I think I'd rather just wait and see who we get and talk about that. Of course, I think we need a linebacker for sure. Probably need a cornerback. I don't know what we're going to do about the cornerback situation. I don't really trust anybody that we have right now on our roster in the cornerback, the permanent cornerback number 2 position right now. So I don't know if we draft one, not exactly sure. So, but for sure, linebacker, cornerback, probably, maybe we get a wide receiver, another one. Maybe we'll get a defensive lineman. Oh, we lost 2 tight ends. Maybe we'll get another tight end too, as well. Wide receiver, tight end type thing. I think we probably get a defensive lineman before we get an offensive lineman, but not exactly sure. But that wraps up this video. I'm gonna hop on my Instagram. If you haven't followed me, my Instagram handle is NolaK. I haven't been on there in a minute, but I'm gonna hop back on there. If there's anything I left out or just anything that you want to tell me in the comments below. A nice kind of catch up on any of the topic we talked about, on just how the Saints media is reacting to either one of these signings, either one of these moves, anything, your personal opinion on any of the things I talked about, or anything actually. But thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.